So to order rational numbers which are in different forms, again, we need to change each number to the same form, then order them as requested. So either all fractions, all decimals. Now, again, the one way we could do it is change it all into fractions and then make them all the same. That's going to usually take a couple extra steps. My recommendation would be to change it all to decimals and keep them all the same. Unless they're already all fractions, then let's keep them as fractions. So this one here, I'm going to rewrite these all as decimals. So the first one is pretty easy. That one's already as a decimal. Should be able to get that one. The next one, 1 divided by 5, is 0.2. So it's 0.2. And then we have 0.3, 0.3. And then we have 1 over 3, 1 divided by 3, which is 0.33 repeated. And then we're going to have 2 divided by 9. And I think you can see at least some of that there. 0.22 repeated. All right, so now we have those there. Again, remember, these are still all connected. For the final answer, I'm going to be asking that you keep all the original numbers. So if it's a fraction, we're going to keep the fraction. And if it's a decimal, we'll keep it as a decimal. Now let's look through here and figure out which one is the smallest and then the biggest. Smallest is going to be this one here. So 0.2, then 0.22, then 0.25, then 0.3, and then 0.3 repeated. Okay. Now again, we can go through and we could add some extra decimals. Remember that this here is 0.20, 0.30, and we already have the other ones there. So now we're going to rewrite this out in ascending order. So 0.2 was 1/5. And then we have next is 0.22 repeated, which is 2 over 9. Then we have 0.25, which is exactly as we left it there. And then we have 0.3, which is exactly as we were given. And then 0.3 repeated is 1/3. This is in ascending order from smallest to biggest. And again, we're using our original pieces, okay, to write it out. So remember to write out with using the original pieces, not the decimals that we've come up with, but with the originals, including fractions and decimals. All right, so next one here. Here we have, again, 3 fractions and 2 decimals. Now, I'm going to change the decimals to having 3 decimal places right off the bat so that they're all exactly the same. So we're going to start off with 7 over 8. 7 divided by 8 is 0.875. That was 3 decimals already. This one is 0.910. This one is 0.091. 4 over 7. Again, a little tough to see there, is 0.571. And 23 divided by 250 is 0.092. Now again, they're all 3 decimal places, so we can kind of recognize that which ones are the bigger ones. Now we have 875, 910, 91, 571, and 92. Smallest one is going to be this one here, then this one here, then we have the 500, then the 800, and then the 900. And if we organize them, again, from smallest, so 0.091, and then next is this one here, which was 23 over 250, and then here, which was 4 over 7, and then this one, which was 7 over 8, and then 0.91 was the final value. Again, remember, put it back into its regular fractional or decimal form. Here I added a 0, here I don't need that 0 in there. Okay, these ones I changed to decimals. I make sure that I put them back into fractions when I am completing them. All right, final one. And here we have some improper fractions as well as decimals. So 8 divided by 3. Again, I'm doing that off screen, but you can kind of follow along there. 2.66 repeated. Okay, and I'll keep it the way that it, just with 2 decimal places for right now. 2.80. 13 divided by 5 is 2.60. And then we have 2.33. And 67 divided by 26 is 2.57. 2.57. I guess it would be 8 technically because going up. That won't really make a difference because nothing's really close to that. We don't need to keep any extra decimal places. If there are ones that are really close, we're going to want to make sure we have extra decimal places to compare which one is bigger and smaller. All right, smallest, 2.33 is the smallest. Next, 2.58. then 2.60, then 2.66 repeated, and 2.80 would be our next one. So 1 would be 2.33. 2 is 67 over 26. Now remember, we got to keep track of which is which, right? We don't want to just lose that. That's why it's always good to make sure we show all of our work. And then we've got 13 over 5, and then 8 over 3, and then 2.8. And that would be our final answer. Make sure that they are in ascending, so that's going from smallest to biggest in ascending order, and make sure that, again, we have our original values back, not our simplified decimals back. Okay. For this one here, questions 5 to 9, that's going to finish off the assignment. So make sure you have all of questions 1 through 9 completed, and then please send that assignment in using the Google Classroom.